Picture this, it's 4 a.m. in Spain and you are sitting on the floor outside your toddler's room begging. He falls asleep. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Daniela and today I want to tell a story of how it's been transitioning my toddler from a crib to a big boy bed here in Spain. If you are an expat like me and you're struggling with life transitions because you don't know how to get around the new country style, you don't know good brands for your kids, you don't know how to do things because you're a new mom, here is this channel. I hope these tips are helpful. I've been doing a lot of studying and education on how to transition your toddler from a crib to a big boy bed, trying to understand brands in Spain that go along with what I want to teach my child, which is usually Montessori style principles. I first want to talk about the setup of the room, which I think it's so important. When you are transitioning your kid to do something else, you want them to have a fun transition. You want them to feel comfortable, happy, and excited to do the new thing. So for that matter, I made sure to prepare myself for months, looking up different brands for beds, looking up how I was going to decorate his room based on his current interests, and looking up how to actually do the transition mom to child to help him and support him to do this new thing. Now, let's talk about the night to night breakdown. Day one, it took me 3 hours. 3 hours to get the kid to sleep, to fall asleep. So we did his normal bed routine. Once he saw that he was gonna go onto this bed, he's asking for his crib, who now his brother has. I'm like, no, now you have a big boy bed. What do you need? Do you want me to sleep with you? Do you want me to? And he wanted everything. And then I made the mistake of offering him a bottle because I know that when he was a baby, he would fall asleep really easily with a bottle. And now that's still a thing. 2 weeks later, he can't let go of the bottle to fall asleep, but at least he's falling asleep in less than 3 hours. The first night, it got me 3 hours. I was so exhausted and nervous, and I also noticed that he was really anxious, like he was moving a lot, didn't want to sleep, would get out of the bed. He finally went back to sleep and got back up at 4 in the morning. I wanted to die. He didn't want to go back to sleep after 4 a.m. I got him to rest for like 15 minutes, read him a book, did everything I could on earth, stayed with him until 6 in the morning, and then my husband took over to help me because I was dying. We made it through. He was exhausted the next day and had to go to school, and we were like, let's keep his routines exactly the same. Let's take him to school so he starts to catch up with himself and feel like this is natural life. The only change is the bed, but everything else is the same. We took him to sleep. He slept like a baby during his nap at school. Came back the next day. Took me an hour to help him fall asleep, which was still significant. But then he woke up at 2 a.m. and was awake for an hour. And I tried to do the cry out method, which is he cries, gets out of the bed, comes out of the room, and I grab him, put him on his bed, and I say, good night, I love you, and leave the room. Comes out of the room, I grab him, put him on the bed, good night, I love you, leave the room. Comes out, good night, I love you. And then it gets to a point that you just don't say anything. You just grab him, put him on the bed, and close the door, leave. An hour of this until he gets exhausted and falls asleep. People have conflicting comments and opinions at this point. They say, wait, but he's falling asleep because he's absolutely exhausted and you're not giving him any love and comfort. He's really tired. That's why he falls asleep, not because he's understanding the method. And I still did it because I was like, I need to try it for myself and see if that's true. I kind of think that's true. He's not falling asleep because he's obeying. He's falling asleep because he's exhausted of doing this. So I was on the fence about this technique, but kept on doing it. Then he woke up again at 6 in the morning for about 30 minutes and then went back to sleep until 8 in the morning, time to go to school. Day 3 took me 30 minutes to get him to sleep. And I was so excited, but didn't realize that this guy was just so tired that he fell asleep really quickly. It didn't mean that he was used to the new bed and new system to go to sleep. And then he woke up almost at 7 a.m. and he dozed off again until 8 a.m. It was easier to put him back to sleep this time around. Day 4 took me about an hour to get him to fall asleep. He woke up at 1 a.m., stayed awake for almost 2 hours, which was not great, and then woke up again at 7:11 to start the day. From day 5 on, this has been the trend. He takes 30 minutes to an hour to fall asleep, which is better. He definitely asks for a bottle to fall asleep completely for the night, and then he knocks out. Sometimes he wakes up once throughout the night. It can be around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., cries, I put him back to bed, and it's sort of easy to put him back to bed. He's not resisting it too much. Sometimes he asks for more bottle, and I'm honestly so exhausted. I'm just giving him another bottle. I know I'm being an enabler, but so far I'm just trying to maximize the amount of sleep we can get in this house. And I'm like, if it takes a bottle, please drink a bottle. And then he wakes up nearly 8 a.m. or we wake him up at 8 a.m. because he's still sleeping. So that's been the trend, which I'm not happy with, but I'm grateful for, because this is much better than what I was suffering the first couple of days. Something to add is that on week 2, we started adding a reward system. And my toddler is 21 months old. He's not even 2 years old. And I don't think he understands the reward system completely, especially because he's getting stickers on a piece of paper. He feels like, this is not for me exactly, but it's been a little helpful. He's interested that he gets something if he sleeps. I don't know if he gets it, but point is, we're trying that too, in case you want to give it a try. If your toddler is older than 2, I'm sure they're gonna get it. Overall, I think it can take up to a month to fully transition your kid. And I have some tips for you in case you want to practice this at home. And if you live in Spain and you also want to try the same bed setup we have here or something similar, I'm going to give you all the tips. So let's get to that. First of all, brands. Alondra, it is sort of Montessori friendly, and it uses solid wood and non-toxic finishes. It's often natural, and then there are some furniture items there that are not all natural materials. So you do have to check on the description to make sure that this is what you're looking for. But I find it quite expensive. I also found a lot of Montessori beds and furniture on Etsy Spain. Haven't tried it, don't trust it much to be honest, but they're very nice finishes for furniture there. Another brand that I liked that has decent prices, it's made in Spain or it's from Spain, is Baimba. It has really nice Montessori beds. And there's also Hope Kids or Hope Kids, which looks good. This company is based in Denmark, so that is another option for you guys. And then I know that you can go to El Corte Inglés and find a decent option. And also another big company for furniture is Maison Monde. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's another place where I buy furniture online that it's usually pretty good. And I totally forgot to talk about the brand that I use for my children's furniture / beds. It's Montlit Cabane. It's a French brand that has beautiful options. They do all Montessori bed style with natural pine and such. I like the individual beds that are low instead of the little house bed. I just like to have more space in my surroundings, or for my kids' surroundings. So we got something like this for my toddler, and they have other options, other looks that all look so nice and I think are good priced. For mattresses, I like Echo's Kits, but they didn't have any prices that I liked. So for that reason, I got a really great mattress deal from El Corte Inglés as well, and I made sure that the mattress was firm enough for the good development of the spine of my kid. If you want, the brand for that is H.R. Morgan Relax. Colchón Infantil Juvenil is the exact one that I got him. When it comes to bedding and decoration, Zara Home is what I use. I love Zara Home. I think that they have a beautiful, super cute, child-friendly line and themes for decoration, so that's what I swear by, everything Zara Home. Make sure you use comforting items that they know already, that are familiar to them. For my case, it's both a blessing and a curse to use the bottle because it's such a comforting item for him. Even if it's not full, he wants to hold his bottle. It makes him happy. Try to keep all other routines the same. Don't change anything. Don't be like, let's not take him to school because he's trying to adapt. No, the only change is the bed, so he feels comfortable and in control at every other time that's not bedtime, at least. Then try a reward system, especially if your kid is older than 2. I think it's going to work just fine. Be prepared for setbacks and give it time. Know that you're not going to sleep. Know that you're going to be stressed. Know that you're going to feel like the worst mom in the world because you're not getting it right. Know that you don't understand the system that you're doing. And I think that's a big thing with moms. We read things online, we're going to implement it, and it all feels and looks different. And we feel like, oh, I'm not doing it how it's in the books. No, because your kid is a human being that's very unique, and you as well. And at the end of the day, a combination of everything you read is going to serve you, but not exactly what you read. And that's my biggest take on this talk. So if you're a mom, a parent in another country trying to read online what to do and nothing's working, welcome. You're not alone. You're doing the right thing. And you probably need to find a happy medium in between all the information you are finding. My biggest take is do what serves your family and what serves your kid, because there are no specific guidelines or manuals for kids. So now tell me about you. Where do you live? Do you have kids? Are you struggling with any transition that they're going through? Is it harder because you are in a country foreign from yours? Do you feel alone? Do you feel great? Is it better for you because you don't even like your family that you left behind? That may be the case. So I'd love to hear about you, your tricks and tips on transitioning your kid to a new bed or any type of transition and your life in general. Thank you for coming, and I gotta go to get my kid from daycare. So bye-bye.